Yes, depending on who you speak to, I'm either stood right now at the cutting edge of military technology, so cutting edge I can't show or even describe to you the component behind this screen, or I'm stood at a massive roulette table where the government has been deciding which to gamble on, high-tech kit or people. Well, today they bet big on tech because that's the real focus of today's defence review. Kit like this, the whole thing is actually an unmanned spy plane which can hover on the edge of space for up to 9 months without coming down, all the while beaming pictures in real time of our enemies to troops on the ground. But here's the kicker: there will now be far fewer of those troops, an army at its smallest size in almost 200 years. Their name might be about to change, but being first through the door will still be their job. To do it though, the future commando force will be given new kit and technology, a running theme of today's long-awaited and much leaked about defence review. In Parliament, the 6th Conservative Defence Secretary in just 10 years set out his long-term vision for the armed forces.
There's no point boasting about numbers of regiments when you send them to war and snatch Land Rovers, or simply counting the number of tanks when our adversaries are developing new ways to defeat them. That is why we've put at the heart of the Defence Command Paper the mission to seek out and to understand future threats and to invest in the capabilities needed so that we can defeat them.
This is a Prime Minister who defence contractors at least are happy with. Last year he promised an extra £24 billion to the military, and today he toured BAE Systems near Preston to see how that money will be spent.
This is a 14% increase in spending on the armed forces above what was in the manifesto that I was elected on in 2019.
The manifesto. And this is what else he said when launching that manifesto.
We will not be cutting our armed services in any form. We will be maintaining the size of our armed services. And I'm delighted to see Secretary of State for Defence nodding fervently in the front row.
Just over a year later, and troop numbers are being cut. The argument: the challenges have changed and better kit requires fewer people. Significantly fewer people. The Army's current target is 82,000 people, although it only has 76,000 right now. By 2025, the target will be just 72,500. On water, within 18 months, 2 frigates will be retired early, but this will grow to 24 frigates and destroyers by the mid-2030s. And in the air, 9 of the oldest Chinook helicopters will be scrapped with no replacements, and all 20 Pumas will be retired. There will be a replacement, but with what and how many, no one knows. The big increase is tech spending, £6.6 billion over 4 years for just research and development. So more money, impressive kit, but fewer troops. One former head of the armed forces said the UK would no longer be able to retake the Falklands or have the numbers for another Gulf War. For others, this review doesn't go far enough.
For example, space, which quite rightly is championed as the new domain, one of the new domains that defence needs to start gaining a foothold in, is only getting £1.4 billion over the next decade. In my mind, that's a good start. What you're looking at in capability terms is a supertanker slowly moving.
This is where the technology for tomorrow is built and kept under wraps. These drones fly at 60,000 feet, spy from the edge of space, and can stay there for very long periods of time. So 9 months without coming down?
Absolutely.
I'm guessing this doesn't come cheap.
It's not a bargain, but very cost effective compared with some of the alternatives.
The MOD has an unspecified number of these drones on order, all part of what they're calling a transformational change for the armed forces. Does that transformational change require fewer people?
The actual numbers of people, I mean, that's an MOD decision, what they can afford, where they need it. What we're really seeing is what you can then ask them to do and the types of decisions they get involved in. And it's not so much about more or less people, it's about what they can do differently.
The threats the MOD says we now face are from Russia. The challenges from China. The actual war on the horizon? Unknown. The hope today, though, the nation's equipped for whatever future fight it finds itself in.